Hi there, it's Mark Carlson here. So today's video, what are the short-term and the long-term solutions for being more decisive and more powerful? Well look, let's look at why a person isn't decisive or powerful first. And the reason is that they don't know themselves. Right? If you don't know who you are, you won't have the strength to follow your inner calling. You don't have a center to rest on. Right? So that's why you lack power or the clarity to make powerful decisions or the strength to make powerful decisions, because you don't know yourself. If you know yourself and you've got something to rest on, that you're centered regularly, then you can make a decision, and if it goes wrong because you know yourself, everything's okay. So that's the longer term solution about how to know yourself, which I'll tell you in a moment. But the short-term solution is that you have to fake it till you make it. So you've got to recognize first, you've got to have enough awareness that, okay, I seem to have fear around making decisions, and it's okay, right? It's okay, because that's just the way it is right now. And so there are things for me to learn. So if I was powerful, if I was decisive, then what would I do? And of course, you want to make small decisions, not massive ones that are life-changing. You start with small steps and you make an intention that I'm going to make small decisions, and regardless of the result, and I'm going to discover myself after I've made the decisions and have an adventure with it, rather than criticize if it didn't go the right way. You can't get anywhere if you do that. And of course, that's following an insecurity from a belief you're having about yourself, which means you don't know yourself yet. So when you know yourself, the results don't matter so much, because you know who you are and you know that, okay, I'm going to learn from this one, or I'm going to proceed because that was a great decision. And if it was a decision that wasn't particularly good, then I learn from it. And if I'm centered regularly enough, which means that I know myself, then everything's okay. So the short-term solution is to set the intention to start to learn how to know self, but also make small decisions. Fake it till you make it. Imagine if you were powerful, if you were decisive, what would you do in these certain situations? But you make the small decisions first. Small steps, baby steps, one step at a time. Now, how do you know yourself? How do you get to know yourself? Well, you've got to learn to be centered. What does it mean to be centered? It means that your attention is aligned with the moment, because remember, you're only ever happening in the moment, and your system is always responding to the moment. It tells you what's right and wrong from your beingness about every situation you go into. He will tell you what things should be, determined by what you've learned they should be, which is not necessarily an authentic aspect of you. So whatever your tribe told him to learn, whatever society's told him to learn, whatever your peer group has told you to learn about what's right and wrong, to be accepted, whatever your family's told you. But it's not necessarily in alignment with your authentic self, right? So you've got to learn who you are. It's imperative in this life. If you don't know who you are, you'll never find abundance, regardless of all of the things that you might attain in the material world, because you won't know who you are. You won't know what has heart for you. So when you learn to bring your attention into the moment, you also get to discover more regularly what things mean to you, because you're aware of yourself in the moment, and you're aware of what feelings happen, what things happen in your energy processing system when you encounter a particular experience in life. So it's vital that you bring your attention, you learn to bring your attention to where you are. The greatest time to do that, I find, is when I'm not wanting to be where I am. So if I'm in a queue, or I'm in a traffic jam, for example, and I don't want to be there, I want to be at the next place. So whenever you find yourself not wanting to be where you are and wishing you were in the next place, practice being now. Bring your attention to the moment. The undeniable truth is your physical presence with the five senses are always going on now. So that's what you use to bring yourself back. You look at the five senses. What am I tasting? No judgment. What am I smelling? No judgment. What am I hearing? What am I looking at? What am I feeling? What's actually going on right now? What's my relationship with this moment? Let me look at the moment and let me discover me. Let me look at me in the moment. I'm not thinking about me. I'm looking, I'm observing myself in this moment. Now, that practice will enable you to discover yourself, to find out who you are. Now, it's an ongoing process. In fact, it's always a work in progress. There's always more to discover. But things become easier and you become more powerful because you're more solid, because you can rely on yourself, because you know what things mean for you. So learn to come back. Look, if I've never mentioned this before in my videos, if you've never seen me before, meditation. When would now be a great time to either start it or to deepen your practice? Meditation. If you're a beginner, start with 5 minutes a day. That's all, just 5 minutes a day. Do it for a week and then crank it up to 6 minutes a day for the next week. And then if that's too much, stay on 6 minutes until you feel like you can go to 7 minutes. And you go all the way until you get to 30 minutes so that it becomes a lifelong practice, because it's the greatest gift of self-love that you could ever give yourself, because it teaches you to be with your attention where you actually are, which will open millions of doors for you and you'll discover who you are. Have an absolutely fantastic day when you watch this, and I look forward to talking to you again next time. Thank you so much.